everybody. My name is Ken Clark. I'm the editor of Hardware and Building Supply Dealer and HBSDealer.com. And this is our one-on-one video series where we talk to people in the industry doing interesting things. And we have one of those with us today, Matt Butzier from Palmer-Donavin. Matt, you want to say hello to our audience?
Thanks, Ken. Yeah, happy to be here.
Palmer-Donavin, you may remember, was in our headlines very recently with one of our most widely read stories of the month. Palmer-Donavin expands in the Southeast. The company acquired Diamond Hill Plywood, a wholesale distributor of building materials with 5 DCs in Virginia, Tennessee, and the Carolinas. Palmer-Donavin being from Columbus, Ohio, a Midwest company. You might describe this acquisition sort of like the Big Ten acquiring the Southeastern Conference, the SEC. Is that how you see it, Matt?
Well, that's a unique way of putting it. When I introduced myself to the folks with Diamond Hill, I said, "Go Bucks," and yeah, it wasn't received really well. So I don't know that I'd put it that way.
Well, let's show the map of the new areas you're acquiring. It looks like a really big deal. I think you have 8 locations there in the Midwest. Diamond Hill Plywood has 5 in the Southeast. Tell us what it means from your day-to-day.
Yeah, well, Palmer-Donavin, several years ago, we made the decision that we wanted to expand our footprint. And when we analyzed it, the South just made all the sense in the world for us. When you think about the demographics that are very favorable, the lack of seasonality that unfortunately we experience up north, it was a great area for us to expand. And so Diamond Hill Plywood allows us to get into those markets with those 5 locations that are situated just perfectly. So it's very exciting. We're incredibly excited about the acquisition.
Matt, from a product or service perspective, what does the acquisition mean? Was Diamond Hill similar to Palmer-Donavin?
There are a lot of similarities in the product offering between the two organizations, but there are also quite a few differences. Diamond Hill is primarily focused on EWP, which is a category that Palmer-Donavin has never had. And so that's one of the exciting things about the acquisition is, what are some of the products that, potentially Palmer-Donavin could distribute? What are some of the products that we could add to the portfolio? Hopefully we can learn a lot from each other.
Can you talk about how important it is to grow or to acquire in today's environment? We're in our pages, we have a lot of stories and headlines about acquisitions and lumber yards and distributors. I guess we used to be in an industry that had hundreds and hundreds of wholesale distributors, and those days, can you just comment about how things have changed in that regard?
Yeah, I think it's really important for us to be able to continue to deliver value and be important to not only our vendor partners but to our customers. And as they look to expand their reach, a lot of our customers are hitting into the southern markets, and up until now, we weren't able to help them and support them. And so, to be able to expand our influence and our reach into different markets and in different product categories and deliver different services and products to our customer base, I think that's critically important for future growth and success.
Matt, can you talk about how the deal came about? Was it Diamond Hill that approached you as to be acquired, or did you reach out to them? Can you just talk about the origins of this deal?
Yeah, that's a great question, Ken, and I'm not really sure that I know the exact answer. We engaged with the buy-side firm a couple of years ago when M&A was a real strategic initiative of ours. And ironically, that firm did not bring us Diamond Hill. Diamond Hill came about because our former CEO, through industry events, knew the ownership of Diamond Hill and expressed interest if they were ever interested in selling. And so when that decision was made, they reached back out to us, and I think that's kind of where it took off from there.
And the culture of the two companies, can you describe how do you think they're going to mesh, and what will be the important factors to make it work?
Yeah, I think that two organizations that have been around for a long, long time have a rich history and tradition, really focused on servicing the customer base as well as our vendor partners. And when you throw into the mix that employee ownership, I just think it's a perfect fit. I think the mesh between the two organizations will be very good.
That's an excellent point. Palmer-Donavin's an ESOP and Diamond Hill also, or can you explain that situation?
Diamond Hill, today is not, but now the employees will be a part of the ESOP through the transactions. So they will transition into being employee owners, which we think is really cool, really important for future success.
Well, Matt Butzier, the COO of Palmer-Donavin, we wish you the best of luck, and thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate being here.